Integrity Commission, they have
Mm-hmm.
decided to investigate. But listen, they're doing it with everybody, right? Because
Okay.
as you we are, well, I had to submit my a statutory declaration every year.
Right.
So they have taken over now. For the last 2 years, they have taken over, and I think some of the documentation that I had to submit,
Right.
they can be found. So they are asking
Mm,
me now to produce these documents, and I have been resisting them because it's just such a pain, right?
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I
because
can
they
imagine.
because I submitted all these documents to the Corruption and Prevention Commission, which they took over from.
Mm-hmm.
Know that I would not have been able to submit my statutory declaration without these documents, right? So now they're saying that they need them, and I have to go all the way back in some history and why, cause like you
Wow.
know, where how you bought your car and
Oh
what
my
was
God.
what was the I have it right here. What was the price? I can't remember that. That's a long, long time ago.
Wow. Wow.
And where
Wow.
you get the source of funds, all kind of things, right? Right.
Wow.
So
That's
that's it.
crazy.
So I'm
That's
supposed.
crazy.
Well, they wrote me from May, and I told him I was transitioning, so I couldn't do it. I said, give me until June.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work. Give me until today, all right? When it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work, I've started, but I'm not finished. Anyway, I said to
Wow.
myself, what's the big deal? I don't work with government anymore. Where you going to,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
The law says that they can take me to court if I don't produce the information. I'm just so fed up with these people, listen, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that's the
My
stress
darling.
today.
Yeah, that's a huge annoyance. Let me say that. So I
Yeah.
feel it for you. I feel it for you, especially when you're trying to just cut ties. I feel that, man.
Yes.
I so feel it.
Right.
Well, if we're in this space of sharing, I have an exciting thing. So my family has a piece of land in Westmoreland. So there's been this
Mm.
gentleman who's been squatting on it. I've never seen him before. I don't know his name. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't seen him before because what happened was we got the police to come. Let's say that would be maybe
Oh.
January. Got the police to come
Mm-hmm.
and they kicked in the door. And so we went into the
What?
property and saw the person's photo. So I would say that now that I think
So
about
it's a
it,
house?
okay,
He's
yeah.
squatting in a
Well, I
house?
should. A house is a generous word. Call it a structure. Call it four walls and it's a
No, so he
structure.
put up that structure. He
No,
put up that
no,
structure.
no,
Oh.
no. It was the
Mm.
family putting it up and couldn't agree on who to pay for what. So it never went
Mm.
far. So it
Okay.
went four walls, roof, window, door, and that's it.
Oh.
Okay, so
Okay.
I decided the foolishness must stop. So I'm gonna go down there and see what can be done. So when we went in January, so five of us went in January. The police kicked in the door, and but there you're gonna need if only two dump truck needed to clear out the garbage there, I would consider that a miracle.
No.
Anyway, so we get a do they you have to treat it like a tenant who's not paying, so you do the eviction
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
so okay think say, you don't expect that okay, person just gonna leave, but yeah, was it Wednesday, third? Yeah, Wednesday took a twist. Courtroom drama.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
Wednesday, I'm standing in front of the judge saying, Your Honor, I don't know this person, whatever. The gentleman starts to
Mm-hmm.
tell the judge about my children, where I live in New
What?
Kingston, this, that. It he just knew everything about me. And my mouth dropped open. I was
And you have never seen
completely never seen him before. My mouth drop open. I fright. Anyway,
Right. Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
in
Know so much
shock.
about
And
you.
then exactly. And then he starts to talk about my ex-husband. And then of course, now I know where you get the information. Because clearly Uno know each other. So I
Okay.
was literally shocked. But then it got more amazing because Thursday, this I'm talking about yesterday Thursday,
Uh-huh.
my ex-husband called me my son to laugh about how he's gonna make sure that we pay this man before he leaves, and he told the man what to say in court.
He's gonna
Yes,
we must you gonna pay the man, and the
yes,
man is a squatter.
this man tell the judge said we promise him $20,000 a fortnight from 2005. We stopped paying him in 2008, so he needs to collect from 2008 till today. 14 years of money. I'm messing with on this man.
No,
I
so
say,
what for you? What you paying? What you paying him for? As a watchman
how
or
do
something?
you pay somebody you don't know? I don't know him. He knows
Oh, Lord.
clearly know about me. He actually told our son that he told the man the vehicle I was driving, and the man watched us coming from the parking, walking into the court so that he could describe us to the judge. And I said to myself, you make a stranger know about us? Really? Your children? As you could have hit me a little more, but you brought your children in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That is who he is. So I'm telling you,
That's
boy,
crazy.
I know.
So how did the two of them, or well, I guess you don't know the history, the background, the
I
backstory, how
put
they met and that
everything.
stuff.
But guess what? We gotta go back to course. I have to go back to Westmoreland, and I'm going to put that on the table. So clearly, just because you know everything about me don't mean that me owe you 14 years of money. I don't know who you are, right? And his
Mm-hmm.
position is, oh, he's not going to leave until he gets 14 years of money. So I want to hear what the
No, but
judge has to say about that.
on what basis? On what
So
basis? For what?
he's saying because he knows about my life. He was just lying. He told the judge how me and my husband never travel to Negril without telling him. The children grow up in him hand. Him know everything about the children. And I said to myself, I felt so violated. No, it's funny, but it's still I felt
Yeah,
violated. I felt
yeah.
absolutely violated. Yeah,
No,
man.
but I don't understand though. So this man, so I mean, how did him and your husband get together? Well, I
That's
don't.
what I'm saying.
That's so
I don't
weird.
listen. If he's saying he knows me from 2005, how on God's green earth would I know what my husband had done 17 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay? You're saying that you and me, this man is saying that I have promised to pay him for 17 years. And I'm telling the judge I never seen before in my
For
life.
what? For
For
what?
to stay at the place. I owe him
Oh, like a
17 years.
watchman.
Yeah, right? So that nobody no
Uh,
vandalize the place. Except that then him a the vandal, cause as I said, I mean, if you ever see how the place steer, she's a hammer. Somebody wouldn't vandalize that. Not with that level, not with that level of horror
so
that
how?
what
But
I
what I
saw.
want to know, though, how did your husband know about this whole thing? You going down there
But
to
that's
get
my
out this
point. So
man and that kind of
that's
thing.
my point. They clearly I'm not telling him. Even if Dennis might know we were going down to the country, he don't know what we was doing. I was doing that. I don't tell him lots of things because I don't. I figure he may tell him father. I don't want to get involved. And I don't want to
Right.
create.
Mm,
So I wasn't sharing
mm.
information. So I can honestly tell you I don't know. I honestly can say I don't know, and I can
But
say
this is not a piece
I
of
so clear.
land. This
Go ahead.
this is not a piece of land that you and your husband own jointly.
No, no. He has, like,
Oh,
other than
so he's
creating
being
mischief.
mischievous then.
Right. And but I think I think it's
Yeah.
more than mischievous because you involve your kids. You understand? So if you were saying me and my
Yeah.
cousin Mary Jane as a, then so okay, you hate me. Um Fine. But you are using the children to make the judge feel like this man is part of the family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Why? That's weird. That's
No,
so
man, tell
weird.
you. It's just it's really horrible. You know what I'm saying? It is
Yeah.
horrible. Very horrible. Anyway, so let's get on what this is about. I found this really awesome workbook. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it. Self Sabotage
I
in
did
a
look at it and I said I was going to do the exercise, but I haven't gotten
Yeah,
around
so
to it yet.
yeah, so well, let's just go through it, and that's what we'll do this evening. So
Yeah.
I will
Before you
say,
start,
yeah,
though, the daily practice, right? The
yes,
369. You said
yes.
we
How's
need
that
to
going?
write down our intentions, right?
Yes.
Are the intentions the same for the 40 days, or are they
No.
different every day?
Yeah, like I mean, I've been writing. I color. Just do just
Okay.
write. So it's just about writing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think what is important for me at least is um just it's the habit. It's like,
Okay.
listen to me. Judith, I mean, we're in a space of, so many of us are just really in challenges that may feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's bigger than we are, and some of it is, this is why this self-sabotage really stick with me. It really jump out at me because, as I said, I've been journaling. I've been coloring, and I've been using my crayons, like, wow, my crayons, my coloring, just really. And as I
Okay.
said, that was like I got blindsided, Wednesday. But I was talking to a lady who was like, she was married 8 years, and boy, she's in a lot of debt. She's basically zero in our take home pay because everything gone to debt. And why is that? Because
Oh, no.
her husband would not have sex with her unless they were in an all inclusive.
Unless they were in an all inclusive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are married. They
Yeah.
live at a house,
Yeah.
and
In
he
Portmore.
would not have sex unless they go to a hotel.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so they have an 8-year old, a 4-year old, and an 8-month-year old. And so now that her salary, her take home is zero, basically, and most of the money went to supporting his desires. She said this month him cut her off. So him say him don't have the money to pay the rent. Him don't have the money to give her, like he said, she said him give her how much thousand for the children, the 3 children. Him not give her that this month. And why and he said, look out for the light to cut off. And so but then she sees him buying stuff for himself, fixing his car, doing whatever. And she said she went to him and said, so we have 3 children again. How are you fixing your car? How are you doing this? He said, well, I budgeted for myself. I didn't budget for none of you.
Okay.
And
So,
yeah.
and they're
And she
living
said,
together.
and they live together. And she
Mm.
said, by December she wants to move out and this and that. And you know, but I
With three
think what
children.
hurt, exactly, what hurts, I believe, is this self sabotage. And because she borrowed and borrowed to get his approval. And, I can tell you, I mean, when I look at my own situation, I remember that How they met, I don't know. Where they met, let me tell you how I contributed to the problem. I contributed to the problem of my situation in court by saying, because my family could not agree on what was to be done, he said he'd be always willing to go down, always willing to go. And because, he's a
Like your
miserable
ex-husband.
person. Yes, and because he's a miserable person,
Okay.
I was always glad for him out of the house for a weekend of peace and quiet. And
Oh,
so,
you
yeah,
went by yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
And so he
Okay.
got down. I was just so happy for the peace and quiet, you know, that that was me being complicit, because it was easier to say go on down by yourself. I can rest on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nobody bothering me. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying.
Just you
I
and the
don't.
children.
Right. So
Mm.
who knows what reveal? You understand? So, but that's
Oh,
where I
okay.
contributed. So whereas
Okay.
this lady, she absolutely put herself in financial jeopardy. You see what I'm saying? But we all
Mhm.
kind of do something to contribute to the problems we have, which is why, as I said, this worksheet seems so timely. The self sabotage seems so timely for me, at least. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, it's not long, it's just 5 pages, but
Right.
he talks about, does money elude you? Is success fleeting? Are you still waiting for the breakthrough in your life? Would you feel
Mhm.
uncomfortable if you suddenly became rich and famous? I suppose it would depend on how.
No, I wouldn't.
You would
I
feel
wouldn't. You
uncomfortable?
would. Rich. Well, the famous part, not the rich parts. I might
That's
feel a
what I'm
little
saying.
uncomfortable by the
It would
famous
depend on
part.
what it depends on what I became famous for. And then, if it's something I could live with, I suppose. You know? It says here, the truth. The truth is, we all have many wants. One of the greatest sources of fulfillment is to actually get what you want. Here's an example. Have you ever lost your car keys? You laid them down somewhere, but you're in a hurry, you can't find them. All the time it happens to me. You search around the house looking for desperation.
Mhm.
Every moment that ticks by, your frustration rises higher and higher. You're going to be late. And then you find them. At the moment you find them, how do you feel? Great, right? So your mood level changes, your perspective changes, your view of life changes, all because you got what you really wanted in that moment. So that is true. That happens to me with car keys constantly.
Yeah.
It is the most powerful thing you can do to support someone else as well. Ask them what they want and help them to get it. Okay, Judith, what do you want?
Financial freedom. That's
Okay,
what I
but what
want.
does that mean? What does that mean?
Means I never have to worry about bills, paying money to pay bills. Means I have no bills owing, have enough to invest, have enough to travel where I want to be. So I never have to worry about money again.
Okay, all right. But and then what would be the path for you that would make you feel good about financial freedom? What would be that path?
What do you? I don't understand. You mean how I would get it?
Well, I mean, in what way? I mean, are you going to say, all right, from now on you are investing in buying lottery tickets?
Uh-huh.
What
No,
is what
no.
way? Because no, let's be honest. A Wednesday and a Saturday don't miss certain people. They are at the line that's for pre-ventures. Okay. And they want what
Mm.
you want, money to invest, not worry about their bills. So now, I mean, the lottery is 351. I always know what's happening in the lottery as soon as I drive out of Kingston. Why is that? I don't know. Because I don't join the line, but for some reason I'm always in a car with people who know. And as I cross the border, St. Andrew, I become all of a sudden knowledgeable. And so we talk about like signs. What was the sign yesterday? What we saw yesterday? We're driving
Oh,
in.
number? What number to
Yeah, but
play?
like yeah, but it was like heavy rain, so that meant something.
Right.
What else? It was something we saw. It was something I don't even remember. Oh, there was a car crash.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so there was a car crash in Montego Bay. And so person was like, yes, this car
Mm-hmm.
crash is a number. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I thought to
Mhm.
myself, well, yes, I would like $351 million. I'm not going to deny that. Do I want to? I mean, and this is an option. Do you think it would suit you every Wednesday morning and Saturday morning to play your numbers? And
No,
those,
I
I mean,
don't.
I don't know. Why not? I mean, that's my question. It made me think. So why don't I play the lotto? Do I think it's beneath me?
Well, I don't think it's beneath me, but I just think it's gambling, and gambling is not sure, And the thing is that most of it's like 1 in 1 billion people can win that
Yeah.
$371 million, right?
Right.
So yeah. So it's not sure, it's not secure. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I wouldn't.
Okay.
Um,
All
yeah,
right.
that's why I wouldn't do.
And that's not the reason I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't because I can't bother. It's too much effort. I honestly think the lottery is just too much effort. Simply
Why
because,
you say too much effort?
yeah, because, and I think it's the way I do it. I think it's too much effort because I'm one of them people that read into numbers. So
Oh.
one time I was in Portland and I saw a hog running down the road. And I said, imagine in Portland, famous for pork jerk, you escaped. I hope you cross the border to the next parish. That would be, if I were serious, I know I would have stopped my car at the first lottery place and bought whatever this pig running away meant. So I know that about myself. I take it seriously. I do. I just don't act on it. But I'm very much.
Um,
I was still in Portland. Did the the rafting on the Rio Grande, and I saw, like, I think a goat on the riverside. A boom lottery number. Right.
well, people
I'm
should,
telling you.
if you believe in numerology, maybe you should try it out.
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it. I feel like if I did it, I would be one of the. I'd probably make myself a nervous wreck because
Uh,
then I'd be like everything have meaning, and I would just be cons. That's all I'd focus on. Okay, okay. You see that red bird? It mean this. You see that blue bird? It would just so for me it would take too much out of me, I think, because
uh,
I take the number seriously. I just do. So because I take it seriously, I just don't do it. So that's one. Two, I hate standing in lines. Like I was telling my
okay.
son, boy, this KFC line thing I got cut out next year.
No,
You're
that's
not
a
you
lot.
I know you are 13 next year, 40. Yeah, man, you want it? Walk down the road for it for yourself. Not this girl. Be done.
Yeah, the
So
last time, yeah, it was it. Yeah, last time it took about an hour to
I
get.
said,
Yeah,
Mr. No, sir. And I said, no, listen to me.
yeah,
I said, no, this is now we're weaning you off of this. Or me and you. You free for go every day by yourself. But
yeah.
not me. Me is this is too much. And I think that's the other reason I don't do lottery. Because I don't like standing in the line to buy the tickets. And then if it is online, I don't want gambling to be easy for me.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
Hmm.
other thing. I don't want it to be. So I see all those reasons you moral me effort. That's what it's like.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So again, how do you get what you want? So there's so many paths to money. It's which one works for you. And I
Right.
think that's what's finding the path. Okay, so says here, not getting what you want or being prevented from getting what you want or being given something you do not want is called abuse. I agree. Let's read that again. Not getting what you want, being
Mm-hmm.
prevented from getting what you want, or being given something you do not want is called abuse. How many times have you abused yourself by not giving yourself what you want? Well, that's true. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, is that a deliberate thing? I don't give myself what I want. Suppose I can't give myself what I want.
Mm. Well, there's a school of thought that says If you can't actually have what you want, you can imagine that you have it, which would be unconsciously the same thing. And then the
Mm.
second thing is if you can imagine that you have it and build up the good feelings. And
Right.
then so that's one way. So that you are so it's almost like, okay, you really, really want to go to Paris. So then you're walking on, I don't know, King Street, and you pass Azan's and you see a Eiffel Tower pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the idea is that you buy that Eiffel Tower pillow and bring it in your house. Because now you're bringing a piece of France to you. And then
Right.
maybe you're down in Crossroads and you see a Eiffel Tower t-shirt, you know? You buy the Eiffel Tower t-shirt, put it near the Eiffel Tower pillow,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
literally everything you're doing is you're bringing France into your house. And so as you are imagining being in France, walking down the street, drinking French wine, wearing a French beret,
Very.
and you're bringing French things into your house,
Mm-hmm.
you are feeding your subconscious mind France. So you are, in fact, giving yourself what you want, as opposed to waiting until you are actually have the money and the plane ticket. So you would be doing all the Frenchy things right here in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica. Go to John R. Wang and buy a croissant, for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Go on Hillcrest to Fromage,
All
which
right.
is a French restaurant. So you would literally do as much French stuff in Jamaica as you could
Mm-hmm.
and give yourself the French feeling. So that would be part of the manifestation, because all of a sudden you don't even know what happened, but because you have been sowing the seed of France in your consciousness, boom, there you go.
Mm. Eventually, you'll be there.
Eventually, because you are now feeding your feed. That's the
Right.
idea. You're So
Mhm.
that's kind of, the whole law of attraction thing is that
Right.
you wherever you are. So the trip costs 10,000 US for your dream trip. Well, you have 10 US in your pockets. What can you literally do with 10 US? Well, all of a sudden you see a little tiny key ring with the Eiffel Tower on it for $1. Boom, you buy that. You still have $9 in your pocket, but you have a little piece of France.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the law of attraction saying that all you're doing, you're bringing around you what you want. Okay, so it's not about settling for less to say, oh, but it's almost like you have a choice. You can stay in the energy of, oh my God, I don't have the 10,000 US, but go to France. Whoa, this is terrible. So what law of attraction does is give you more of the whoa, this is terrible, because that's what you're focused on,
Yeah.
as
Okay.
opposed to your house full of Eiffel Tower key ring and
Mm-hmm.
T-shirt and you know pillow cushion and whatever, and you're bringing, because what happens is all of a sudden, as soon as you come home and you see the French stuff in your house, you feel happy. You should feel happy. Oh boy, I really love France. I can't wait to go, because now I see this Eiffel Tower cushion. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it brings down your anxiety level. So let's say you wanted to get your financial freedom through singing.
Mm-hmm.
So then the idea is that you're now going to be doing stuff that if you were Beyonce, for example, what would you do? So now you'd have the nicest blonde hair ever, right? Because you're Beyonce.
All
So the
right.
idea in law of attraction is you would go to the hairdresser and do what you can afford. So the
Right.
hairdresser says, "Oh, Mrs. Logan, that'll cost you $3,000 for go blonde." You said, "Fine. You have 3,000 Jamaican. Go blonde."
Right. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's your tribute to being like Beyonce. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what teeny tiny itsy bitsy things
You can
can
do.
you do,
Mm-hmm.
right, to make yourself who you want to be.
Yeah.
So you're literally doing this every day. So today you're buying the Eiffel Tower keyring. Maybe next week Friday you buy a croissant. Then the
Mhm.
following Friday, I don't even
Okay.
know. You drink a
Okay.
cup of tea that French tea. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so you are building your French consciousness by doing what you can afford and associating it with France, so that you're not in misery because you don't have the 10,000. Like, I have a friend who wants this luxury European vacation. I think it's gonna probably cost her 25,000 US dollars. And I'm saying to her, sweetie, mark out the place when you want to go. Right? If I'm supposed to end, I don't particularly have a desire to go to Italy, but boy, me, I love pizza and I love pasta and I love the leather handbags, and but I just don't have the conscience. I don't particularly want to go to Italy. I mean, I'd go, but it's just not a
Mhm.
thing. I was just saying, why don't you list out your cities like Venice,
Right.
London,
Oh,
whatever, list them out, and then find the things that so for me, when I think of Venice, I think of the mask, the masquerade mask,
okay.
so why,
Mhm.
those are sold in party stores.
Right.
I'm saying, if I think of like London, I think of tea. So I want to go to England, whether next year or the year after. So I have been investing in tea. I go John wrong, and actually
Okay.
every other week, I pick up a nice variety of tea because I associate tea and England. I actually associate supermarkets with England because I think they have really nice supermarkets.
Right.
So that's my thing. So I am a believer in tr- having the things around you that you can
Mhm.
afford at your level what you want, and I believe
Okay.
that lifts your spirits, right? That's just me. Okay,
Mhm.
so here it goes. Well, he continues, it may be because there's some unconscious fear or concern around getting what you want. Your little voice and subconscious may be sabotaging you from getting what you want because it prevents you from the possible problems that could arise from getting your wants. Well, see me here, I live that Wednesday. I want my family to renovate this house, get it going, let's get organized because
Mhm.
one of my cousins died very tragically recently, and he was just 49. He
Really?
Yeah, he had a stroke.
Okay. In
Fell
Jamaica?
No, in England. He fell off his bike. He's riding a motorbike. Had the
Mhm.
stroke while on the bike, fell, hit his head, and his brain just swole up.
Oh, okay.
And they had to pull the plug.
Oh no.
Just 49. And I'm like, everybody's telling me, when I say everybody, like my cousins, they're like, oh, I'm 50. When I'm 65, I'll be able to have my pension and buy my house in Jamaica. I'm like, okay, wonderful. You make up your mind to stay 15 years in England. I don't have a problem with that. But I just, we have this. Why make it go to ruins? Cause you 15 years? Cause you want, you know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
don't see that. So I just decided, and so, but I know I might have had some unconscious fear over it. And so now this happened in court. This crazy thing happened,
Okay. Right.
right? So to
Mhm.
me, it could have been that my resistance from going down there for years and years was that fear of, what would happen if I got what I want. See it now, see what's happening.
Mhm.
So that was an example. So it says here, this process was taught to me by my great mentors. It changed my life. Hopefully, it will change yours. You can either do this speaking out loud to yourself or by writing out it all down. Doing it silently in your head will not work. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So let me make this bigger because. All right. Is that good?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. So let's go, Jules. What is it
Mhm.
that you really want? What do you really want? Money, health, love, opportunity, business, acknowledgement, success. What do you
But
really want?
I, at this point, I really want financial freedom. That's what I want.
So you want money, or do you want
Hmm.
success, or do you want opportunity? What does financial freedom mean?
I guess it means
I mean money,
opportunities, business, money,
right? You also want
opportunities.
cash.
Hmm.
You want cash.
Right. There are just so
Just
many things there that I want that could encompass financial or could represent financial freedom.
mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
know. Hmm.
Well, I mean, all right. Let me see. What is it that for me, um, the truth is, believe it or not, I don't exactly look at cash or money because like that's universal.
Hmm.
For me, it's universal. For me, I'm more about, well, what's the path to the cash? So it's
Oh.
almost like, say, you want cash, you want oxygen. Do you want oxygen? That's how I look at it. Do you want,
Oh,
I've
money is
never
like
heard anybody,
oxygen.
or cash, because I mean, the truth is, you don't have cash, it's going to be very hard to live like if you don't have oxygen.
Right. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
because I've seen people put money on their vision board, on their wish list. I've done it as well. But then I'm speaking about my own
Right.
experience.
Hmm.
If I don't have a pathway to the thing I want, then I just means for me, I just want it, but I don't mean it. I want a husband. How many dates have I been on? So none. So I say I want a, what am I doing? I'm not doing a damn thing. Not a I'm in a I treat my dating life the same way I treat the lottery. I'm interested, but just doing nothing about it.
Right. Okay.
Right. So for me, like for example, a lady I know, she's never bought a house because her parents have never celebrated any of her achievements. So what's the point in buying a house?
To live in, so you don't have to
Okay.
worry about renting a house or that kind of thing. Something you cannot
Well, for her, it's not it's that's not how she looks at it. For
do.
her, it is that she's never been celebrated. And so the house that she could afford, I mean, the house that would give her celebration is like $95 million. She
Oh,
only must have 16.
sure.
She's been qualified for 16.
Oh,
Okay?
oh Lord. And she want a
Right.
house that's 95.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. So, and the reason why she wants acknowledgement, she wants to be celebrated by, her parents.
Can they
Yeah.
can they do that? Are they still around?
Yeah, they're still around. Yeah.
Okay.
So saying that, I am just, the point I'm making is that when you would say real estate, but real estate is not what she wants. She wants acknowledgement. She wants approval. Okay? So that's why I'm saying sometimes you think you want something, but you don't really want. It's like I said. So I may want companionship. I may want somebody to go out to dinner with. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Hmm.
necessarily want the whole trappings of a relationship at this point because I'm still, God help me, I'm still trying to unwind out of the one, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah. So I'm just saying, like for me, I wouldn't even say success because I consider if you know what you're doing, you're going to be successful. So for
Hmm.
me, what is it that I really want? I want to understand the path to what I want.
Oh, okay.
So if I say money, I want to understand the path. What's the pathway for me? So for example, I think I have gone past the place where I could be a stripper. So that's not the path for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Hmm. Let me
Right.
turn on. Let me turn on this light. I'll be
Okay.
right back. Room is so dark. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So my pathway to money is not stripper. And if I said okay, love, romantic love, again, I would not necessarily want to meet a man who likes strippers. So again, I that's not for me. So that's not the path. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
lottery, again, not the path for me. So that's really why I would say what I really want is the path. And I'd like to know the daily steps, which is I consider that the path.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So if I knew the daily steps that work for me, because the things that work for you now work for me. You know,
Right.
that's yeah. So that's kind of the other challenge. So for somebody, like I just started walking around the block in the morning. Some other people they can run around the block. I don't reach that yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Okay.
started
So
exercising. I started
right.
exercising as well in the complex. And I've started
Okay.
a little running, not a lot.
R-
Because
Right. I've started.
I was reading somewhere where it says that, for you to be really healthy, you
Hmm.
have to do exercise which makes you breathless. So just
Okay.
walking, meandering is not it. It has to be breathless. You have to be out of breath, slightly out of breath, for exercise to do anything for you. So I've started that. But
Oh.
I like to walk. I mean, I walk around, well, in the complex, and just admire the natural beauty then, the flowers and the plants.
Right.
So, yeah. Right. So, what time do you
Right.
walk?
Man, my thing is 6:30.
Oh, okay. I will walk between like 7:30 or 8
You know, for some
because,
reason, I feel like it's cooler at 6:30. I feel the heat
yeah,
coming
yeah,
out at 7.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, as I said, though, for me, what I really want, I want the path. So if I said, okay, I want a million US dollars, Lord, what's the path that works for me? Because
Mhm.
drug dealing is a path. I don't think it would work for me.
But
You know what
why
I'm saying?
why do you at this point? So you I assume then that you know what is the end game, right? And you're clear about that, and you just want to know how to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if it's the end game. I think it's like this game. So I give an example. Um, I look at the next 5 years as a transition from get them into high school and whatever Denville will be doing, and then they're 18, get them into university. So that's that transition phase. That's what kind of dominates my life now. The
Hmm.
decisions I'm gonna make circle around that. So, for example, I'm not gonna carry them to that brother. I leave them for 5 years and come back and say, okay, I'll take over as universe. No, my decisions will circle around what works for them.
Right.
So that means that's sort of, I mean, everybody makes a choice. I have a girlfriend, she migrated from Jamaica, went to Virginia. Although she has one child, she's like, look, brother, find your way home from school. You know what I mean? Let yourself in the house and feed yourself. I gone to work.
How old is
And
her son?
probably about 14, but they've been there
Oh,
for about 3, 4 years. So he started at 10. You know what I mean? So by
okay.
the time he's 10, find your way. And he has done
Okay.
so. I don't think I'd be comfortable doing that. Right?
Mm.
I have chosen I want to be around. Okay. So in making that choice to say, look, I want to be around my kids. I especially want to be around Denville, and I want to make sure they get support and such. Um, then what if it's a million US I want, what's the pathway in the context of me wanting to be around my kids? What is the pathway to this million? You, dear Lord, show me the path to the million US So I wouldn't put what is it I really want. I really want a million US. No, I don't really want, because I could win a million US. I could go to America, fall and slip and broke my backside, and they pay me a million US in damages.
Right.
So there's a lot of ways to get a million US that I wouldn't like. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer, because if I know how to get the $1 million one time, I probably could do it again. So now all of a sudden I have a new skill set. That I think is what I
Right.
really want. I want the skill set, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
Okay.
So if that's it, I want the skill set. I want to know. I mean, you know what's always fascinating me? How do churches get so many people in their room, in the congregation? How do you do it?
How?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, people believe.
Yeah, but how does one church have how much hundred of people and another church have, like, they're struggling with 50? You know what I'm
I
saying?
think it has to do with the ambience, the atmosphere, the preacher, the person who's in charge of
Okay.
the
Well,
church,
it is
personality.
right. It is something that I've always wondered about. You know what I mean? And I've said to myself, well, if I could be like that, then I'd know how to attract 1,000 people somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a skill set. So for me, what
Mm-hmm.
is it I really want? I want the skill set. I want the knowledge, the how to do it,
Oh.
and how to repeat the system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says describe it. So the example, well, this person gave an example, success. So now we're going
Right.
to describe it. Success to me is when I have the magic touch and all my goals are being accomplished and coming true and I am living on top of the world. Well, for me, that's so vague. I don't like it. I mean, for me, it says describe it. So if you say, okay, the pathway, the steps to $1 million. So describe it. Well, for me, the pathway works for my personality,
Mm-hmm.
works for the context my life is in, which is, I'm a single mom and I want to be home with my kids.
Right.
It works in the context of, you know, it's not like you take me to I go from level to level, but each level I reach, I can manage, so you're
Mm.
not gonna put me to, from here to work in the White House. I don't know how to manage the politics of that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't even know with the Andrew Holness group. I wouldn't work, because that political machinery has its own language, its own way of moving. I don't understand it. So that would not be a good pathway. So it has to work for me in my own context.
Right.
Let's see. If you had blank, what problems might that create for you? So example, if I were really successful,
Uh,
some of my friends not like me anymore, or they might resent me. Well, if I had the pathway to repeatedly earn a million US dollars while always being available for my
mm.
kids, the problem it might create is, well, maybe I'd get caught up. I'd be just having be so happy I know how to do this. Maybe I'd ignore my kids, because
You
I'm
think
just
that's
so caught
possible?
up. I'm just trying to think. It says what problems might create for you. So I
Yeah,
might
you
ignore
think
them. I'd be just so busy and just so excited and totally forget that they're there. It's like I used to love going to the gym. And then I
mm.
realized I'd forget I left the kids at home. Although they weren't alone, they had someone. But now that I don't have somebody to leave them with, I just don't bother go to gym. So that's
No, but
why
you go to the gym for like 1 hour, don't
see,
you? And you don't
no,
stay.
no, no. I think in another life I want them gym rat that go to 8 o'clock a morning and come out 8 o'clock at night. Gym rat. And I would be the type, again, clearly I know myself in another life. And not only would I be a gym rat, I would be the type with just all day long, just drink the shakes. I'd just
Mhm.
be that one of them. I probably weigh 99 pounds because I just love the liquid shakes. I would be totally. stuck on that. I'd be the one of those best Herbalife customers that always buying the nutritional powder them and making shakes. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't have no interest worried about kids. To tell you the truth, and if I were to go down that road, but I was just wondering if if I had that plan. Um, Hold on. Thank you. If I had that, maybe it's a thought came to mind. I mean, no, I don't know what other thought what other problem it would create. I don't know. Let me see. How could you handle that problem? He says, well, I could remain very grateful and humble toward my old friends. I could be very honest and authentic with them and tell them how much I appreciate them, if I really do. And I could make a lot of new friends who do like me for who I am. Well, I think what I would do is probably have like a lot of tutors and coaches around them. So that even if I'm not paying attention, they don't feel neglected. So that's what $1 million could buy. I can have the best of the best.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you have somebody to stay with them and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What would be the consequences or results of handling that problem? So it says here, my circle of friends would get bigger and I would continue to show my love for my existing friends. Also, those who really like me for who I am will still always be my friends, so I would be free to be the real me. Well, I think my kids would be better off because having the different coaches, um, I had the money to pay all the different coaches, would
Right.
give my kids a more rounded experience. Because as I said, this is a 5 year sprint. By the time them 18, no business with me again. You know what I'm saying? So it probably would be good, to be able
Right.
to afford all of
Yeah.
these different coaches.
So you could do what you want, what you love to do,
Y-
and they
Yeah,
could be taken care of.
yeah. It says, have you ever done anything like this before? Well, I would say yes, because they go play football up the road. So in
Oh,
that regard, I would say yes. And do you know anyone else who has ever done this? A lot of people. I know a lot of people here in Jamaica that homeschool and stay at home and work and such. So I do know people who do that. And
okay.
could I do that? I could, as I said, I could manage having support for the kids
Mm-hmm.
because I now have the money to pay for I'd have a coach. I mean, I'd have like a nutritionist come in and make sure the meals are
Oh,
correct,
right.
and I'd have a literacy coach for Denville to boost up his ability to spell or read. I'd have Dennis would be more advanced stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, so it would be good. So that's kind of where I am. And let me see, this is just the sales page for his program. But let's go back and do you.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me make this a little bigger. All right. Mm-mm. Hold on. What's going on here? All right.
That's
What is it?
okay though.
Huh? This is okay. The
Yeah.
size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So um what
Money,
is it?
health, love, opportunity. But I don't really like the choices here.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
um,
I didn't use any of
money.
them.
Huh?
I didn't use any of them.
Yeah.
Remember, I said my thing
Money.
was the path. You
Mm,
know,
okay. Right.
I'm
Right.
telling you because I think another reason why I wouldn't say for me the path is better than the money, and then you have to be careful of the path because I had an uncle who had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money in England, bought 7 houses, but then we realized it wasn't him. He just would date women who had money.
Mm-hmm.
He'd borrow from them, okay, and make a big to do about um buying these properties, yeah, but he couldn't keep it because as soon as he break up with the girl because him cheating on her, she stopped paying the mortgage, okay.
So she was the one paying the mortgage.
Yeah, whoever was the current girlfriend be paying the mortgage, right? And then it wasn't like he was bright enough or he did not want to do the work of managing tenants, right? So
Oh.
he didn't want to manage tenants. And so there were no tenants. And so the house would sit empty and the mortgage would be not be paid. Okay? And so boom, the house, it lose the house. Okay? Then the next thing is um he then won the lottery. He won £28,000. Immediately bought a vehicle for
Oh,
£20,000.
you
Okay? And so I'm simply saying that, to me, that is an example of
like
somebody
where
saying,
I'm
I
losing
want
you.
money. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You hearing me now?
I hearing you, but you're frozen.
Oh
But
boy.
maybe if we turned off the cameras, it might
All right,
be
let me do that. Okay, turn off my camera.
um I'll stop camera. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
stop mine as well. Yeah.
Right. So
I
I'm
wonder.
saying,
Hello?
yes, I hear you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But I well now your
Okay.
screen is gone.
Oh boy, because I see the screen and now your screen. Oh boy.
I
Well,
don't know what.
hopefully we'll come back.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's
you
back.
hearing me? Okay, great. So I was saying that my uncle now, he got money from women to buy a
Mm-hmm.
house, but didn't want to do the work, of managing rentals. So he wasn't able to keep them from foreclosure. He wins the lottery and spends £20,000 on a vehicle and try to distribute £8,000 between all his children.
Hello?
So yes, you hearing me? Hello, hello, hello,
Yes,
hello,
I'm
hello.
hearing you now.
Okay, great. So I was just saying, so my uncle got
Hello? You're not
property.
hearing me?
Yes, I am hearing you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just saying my uncle, he got money,
Yes, I'm
bought
hearing you
property.
now.
Yeah, he bought property, won the
Yes.
lottery, but he didn't manage his money. You know what I'm saying? So my point I'm making is that um we say, I that's why I don't just say money. Because saying money doesn't say what works for you.
Okay.
Remember, you had
But I
said you
just
didn't want
thought,
to
right,
be
that if
micro.
you say if you think about what it is that you really want, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the pathway to that would come through financial freedom.
Okay, now I just lost you. Okay, you're back. You said this. You say what
Hello?
you really want. Yes.
Right. What I was saying, if you think about and you have clearly in your mind what you really want, I
Mm-hmm.
thought somehow the pathway would be shown to you. So you would be
Okay.
able to so you wouldn't have to think too hard about how, because the opportunities would come to you and you could choose which ones you would take up to be able to achieve financial freedom.
Right. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I have found
Okay.
that I
Okay.
have found that persons I have observed who are very, very clear about what they want get it. Because whereas you can't account for every variable out there, a lot of times, if I know I want to make money as a stock market trader, and that's what I'm focused on, then of course opportunities in stock market trading will come up. But I have to decide that is stock market trading. That's, to me, how I work to release self sabotage, because I've sort of made that decision. Or if I all right, we're talking like myself and some girlfriend say, oh, we'd love to have a farm. I don't want a farm to slaughter animals. All the animals on my farm gonna be my friend. I would sell flowers or shrimp. I'd have a shrimp farm.
I don't know why.
I know. I don't know either.
So I'm not hearing you clearly. But now you sound okay. I don't know.
Okay. Right. It's just probably
Now
the
you
internet
sound
coming.
okay. I could
The
hear
internet's
you.
coming and going. Right.
Yeah.
That I was talking about
Hmm.
farming. Like I'd have a farm, but I wouldn't have an animal farm. I'm not slaughtering animals. They'd be my friends. I would have a flowers farm. I could do a fish farm or a shrimp farm. You know.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
think that is kind of more the pathway to say
Hmm.
what is it you really want, and then it's like if you let's say you decided now you're taking a career change, you want to be a librarian. Well, what does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
What do I really want? I would want to be a librarian. It would mean
Yeah.
that I would have to change my. I'd have to get training for that
Mm-hmm.
because that's not my training.
Mm-hmm.
It would be, yeah, a totally
But
different
you could
path.
be, but couldn't you be a library
Right.
a librarian in a law library?
Yes, but you still need training because librarianship is different from law.
Oh, well, all right. Well,
Right.
point
So it's
is,
still I would still need training.
right. But the point is that what you really want? Is it
So that's
training?
uh,
Is that what you is your path to money, for example, training? Is that what you really want?
no, as you say, I'd be a law librarian, but to be a good one, I'd have to get training.
Right. But I'm just saying, what is it that you really because if you
So
say
like
financial
okay, so
freedom,
the third column we say
if you had
hello.
financial freedom, yeah. If you had financial freedom, what problems might that create for you?
Um, I might get if I had financial freedom, I might get lazy,
Yeah.
right? And I might get lazy and decide, oh, I don't want to do any work. I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to do my usual work. I just want to, travel, 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 and become
Okay.
worthless. Then worthless in
Oh,
quotation
wow.
marks, idle,
All right. How could you
right?
handle that problem?
Um, I would, hmm, I would have to give myself some commitments. Then, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so like I would have to. So, for instance, I wouldn't have to work to earn money anymore because I have financial freedom, right? But I would
Right.
have to make sure that I work, do some kind of volunteer service then. So to
Right.
keep myself active, to keep my brain active and to contribute to society.
Right. Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
all right. So then your thing is it that you have self sabotage? I mean, sounds like for me, what I hear is
Sorry,
yes.
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you, Denise.
Okay, you hear me
You've
now?
gone low.
Oh boy. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah. I was saying it
Mm.
seems like then is it that our self sabotages? I
Hello.
fear not being. Yes. Hello. 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 Hello.
Yeah, I'm hardly hearing you.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know either. Why?
I wonder.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello,
I
hello,
don't know,
hello.
Denise. I don't know.
Okay, let's hang up
I
and let's
don't
let's
know. I wonder
let's
if we could
I'm gonna call you on the
if we
phone.
could talk.
I'm gonna call
If
you.
I call you on WhatsApp. Oh no, I don't want to call the group. No.